going to try to interrupt us.
Oh, they're going to do it?
Yeah, try to.
Here you go. You need to find out who called. Who are they called? Who are they with?
Yeah, like Mariana, why don't you come over here and I'll just tell you what.
Well, you know, I asked the process and I never got a response.
You didn't ask me.
No, I didn't because I don't have the keys out.
I don't want you to have it. Okay, well, I was explaining a bit, you heard some of the process that I was explaining that I had started now, the reason why I started on this one is to start the hearing. And there's a general announcement under the ordinance that the appellant, the appealing party, has the burden of production of proof to move forward first. So you present your testimony or evidence. Now, understanding that in the announcement, under the ordinance, this board can take judicial notice of each and everything that's filed in the official court file. So, for example, if there's letters there, they don't have to be refiled here. You don't have to duplicate by bringing forward testimony. That letter is part of a process of consideration. But to the extent you want to highlight something like that, obviously you can highlight it here, and I would recommend that as from a point of advocacy. Okay? So the process is going to be different than the kind of commission meeting where there's multiple people speaking. And you're kind of the lead petitioner here. If you desire to give testimony first, you can do that at the beginning. And if you desire to call other witnesses, then you would call them and have them make their presentation. Okay? And then when you finish, then JB will have an opportunity to put forward evidence. And then what I'm going to suggest to the board is that after all the parties get their evidence in, if there's questions that you may have to the other side, that those could be asked of any of the witnesses who have appeared, or if the board has any questions to any of the people that testified, they could ask those questions. But we're going to try to do it in a more orderly way, because do we have a court reporter? What? Do we have a court reporter? Or do we have a recording device?
We have a recording device.
Recording device? Okay.
We also have
Okay.
There's your opportunity.
We'll record it. Of course, the court reporter could transcribe it off of the recording. We try to do it in a more orderly way where there's not questions from the crowd, because they don't have, if they're not a petitioner, unless they're an expert, they really shouldn't be shouting out questions,
Okay,
that
we
type
have
of thing.
petitioners here, that's okay.
Yeah, right. It'll come forward. So that will be the process, and then the board will go into executive session for a brief time. As the ordinance states, this board could make a decision tonight if they wish to do that, or decide later, but they have 15 days to file a written decision that finds fact conclusions of law. And what I would suggest this board do is do like many judges do. They look to the parties and say, we've heard your evidence, we've heard your argument, now you can submit findings of fact and conclusions of law to us within a short period of time, so that that could be perhaps the groundwork for a decision, depending on which side they decide to go with. So, any questions?
Well, I have a lot, but I don't think that, this is all kind of virgin ground for all of us.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody has a lot of patience with some people. It's okay.
Well, yeah, we're trying to, and I assume that that we are the president of the commission, sitting as the appeals board, will in fact attempt to keep everyone on track to what the issue is relative to the floodplain. And if it's issues outside of the floodplain, what this county commission has authority over, then, you know, the president could stop that person and say that needs to be addressed at some other agency or some other governmental body. So you can try to do it in that fashion. Okay? Any questions? Yeah, so I'm not going to, at least this is kind of our first rodeo with this new ordinance. I'm not going to suggest to them to allow cross-examination after each witness, but if a witness takes the stand, essentially, and you jot down a question or two that you would like to ask that witness after the whole presentation has occurred, we'll allow that to occur.
Okay.
Okay? Great. Mr. Gilbert, how are you? I didn't recognize you when I walked in first, and
Okay.
I noticed the face.
You want to go
Okay.
ahead and see that? That's
So,
fine.
we'll-
And that's, I was kind of curious as to what we were doing across the board.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew we wouldn't follow the rules.
yeah, when we don't have to, and I would like to allow people to get out what they wanted to say, because for lay people who don't have attorneys, it can be difficult to be cross-examined as you're trying to present your points, and I think it's fair for a lay person. I'm not speaking of you, because I know you're more competent than most lawyers I go up against. But, you know, I think it's fair to let them get their words out, what they want to say, and then if you have questions after they complete their side, then we'll allow that to occur.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Okay, and hopefully we won't be here till 11 o'clock.
Probably have a continued session tomorrow. I won't be here.
What time do you have to leave?
What did he say about who they're waiting on?
Excuse me, who are you waiting to hear back from?
That's private.
I was asked, that's private information.
Some things we can't say.
So you do know, but you don't want us to know.
I don't have any problem with you knowing. We have called, because of some information that I learned of 30 minutes ago, the Ethics Commission,
Oh, okay.
to understand a few things before I advise the appellate board how to proceed. I mean, I'm a guy who wants people to know what's going on. I mean, there's nothing to hide, you know, just.
Yeah,
we're
well, when you
also
have that
taking-
illusion of hiding, it just makes it a little bit more,
Well, yeah, and I'm not here to do
I know,
that,
I
you know.
know. Thank you.
You need to relax. Nobody's hiding anything. We never have. We never have.
Don't even know what day it is.
She asked me that.
I asked,
Sundays become
I asked.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
what would we wait for?
I went to the fair last night.
First day we flew out.
I did too.
I didn't see
Sleeping on.